Good evening, Greenie. Welcome along. Thank you everyone for being involved, and welcome to another episode of Dundee United Tannadice Tales with me, Daniel. We're back for a Tuesday evening special, and this one is set to be more special than ever before. Greenie's been having a little chat before, and you've always been glamour. You're definitely wrong about that. I've tried to add in a couple more fancy bits today. I'm gradually getting there, pal. So you'll probably be able to see on the screen now. There's a little update of who are the latest people to follow, subscribe and all of that stuff. A little event list. So we're getting there slowly but surely. But thank you to those of you who are already waiting before we come in. If you haven't yet, please do chuck a thumbs up on it and come and get involved in the chat. But it's lovely to have you along on this Tuesday evening. And hopefully we've got something special with Dundee United. Because for the first time, realistically, in our 4 years here, we could have a title race on our hands. Because of the failings of Celtic and Rangers in the last transfer window and this season, there is a little bit of a chance we could just sneak in there. As it stands, we come into this episode top, albeit Celtic have got it in their hands. They've got the game in hand and they can go back a point clear. Rangers are dropping, Hamilton and Aberdeen are catching them. And it's all starting to look like a very interesting season in Scotland. So hopefully we've got something to look forward to there. So a big one this evening. Hamilton is the first game. They've been a bit of a bogey side for us. Of course, beat us in the League Cup final earlier this season. And in 3 successive away games against 2 of the relegation candidates and against Rangers, which will be a crucial one, and Ayr United at home to finish, a side that have always done very well at this level. So the problem we're going to have, I think, is that if Rangers beat us, it'll be close again. And all we've got to do, I'm not even worried about the title, just want to be in the top 2 and start to chase Europe, the Champions League, sorry. John, good evening, another one of the regulars, thank you for popping in as always, lovely to have you here. Charlie, another one. Thoughts on Paul Cook's early form at Ipswich, I think that is. I wouldn't be too concerned about it just yet. I think it's pretty much as we expected. We talked about the running they had. It's always going to be difficult. They're playing against sides who have got something to fight for. I know they've played relegation-threatened sides, but they're all sides that are fighting for their lives. So I guess the next game will be the real test against MK Dons, because they are a mid-table side. They're 13th. They can't really go up. They're 8 points off the playoffs, having played more games, and they're miles clear of relegation. So I think MK Dons is the first time we'll really see what Paul Cook's Ipswich are like. But as we said, it will take time. Jamie, will you be finishing the season tonight, mate? So I don't think so. Thank you for popping in. I think what we'll do tonight is we'll get the 5 games in up to the the top 6 split just before the end, and then we'll do the final 5 games on Saturday morning. But I think either way, the next 5 games are probably going to determine if we've got any chance of winning a title. And probably after the Rangers game, we'll know if we're going to be in the top 2 as well. And as we said before at the start of this season, if we don't do it this year, we've probably got to look to move on because we can only fail so many times. But Jamie, thank you for popping in. Lovely to have a new face in the chat with all the regulars. Thank you for everyone for being here already. If you haven't yet, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Come and get involved down in the chat as always. A massive thank you, as it shows on the screen, to everyone who's been following over on Twitch. We did our first 2 live streams with Ballymena United the last 2 days. And we're nearly halfway to, or over halfway to affiliate already, which is ridiculous. So thank you to everyone that's gone and watched them. If you want to check them out, you can pop over. And of course, you'll be able to see us in action. And fingers crossed you'll enjoy it just as much, because it's very similar to what we're doing here, just back in the Irish Prem. Macca, good evening. Another one of the regulars. Thank you for popping in as always. Lovely to have you here. Nice to be back on YouTube today, eh? They're mixing it up a little bit now. Greeny thoughts on Charlie's typo. Oh, you're not playing nice this evening, are you? I'm not getting involved in that one. I probably do more typos than anyone with the autocorrect, so I should probably be leaving it alone. We're already in double figures for viewers as well, so thank you so much for everyone coming in. Lovely to have you all here as we get to a big episode with Dundee United. So let's start by having a look at a couple of games off camera, which we said we were going to play. The Monaco one went as you would expect. We played the reserves again, we lost 2-1. Volland and Lacazette for them. Paul Smith got the one for us. But not bad, only a 2-1 defeat. And then a 3-0 win at Hibs, we looked very good. Mockery and Finley with first half goals. Matt O'Reilly towards the end of the second. And Shankler missed a penalty in that one as well. So it wasn't like we didn't have chances. And it's the sort of game, you look at our recent league form. We played 4 sides that we thought were going to define the season. Celtic at home, Aberdeen away, Hibs away and Motherwell at home. we've beaten them all. And bar Celtic, they were all hefty wins as well. So if it's going to go wrong, it will be Hamilton and Rangers, because they're the sides that have been bogey sides or beaten us heavily all of the whole way through the series, really. I was going to say all season. That would be inaccurate. Charlie, Sheffield Wednesday winning 5-0. Can they stay up? I think they're the favourites, to be honest. We mentioned on the podcast predictions about Rotherham having 3 games a week because of the backlog from COVID. And when your oppositions are playing 1 game a week, it's too hard to catch up. Wickham might throw a spanner in the works. Ultimately, I think it's just a little too late. But Sheffield Wednesday are favourites for me. Coventry, I know they won at the weekend, but otherwise have been poor. Huddersfield are dropping. There's a few others down there too. Birmingham still not out the woods. So I think Sheffield Wednesday are potentially favourites to get out of it. We'll wait and see what happens on that front though. Thank you to everyone coming in. Lovely to be in double figures already. If you haven't yet, please chuck a thumbs up on it. Come and get involved in the chat as always. Join in with all the regulars. And let's go and get into our first game. We face Hamilton Academical. And it's all about trying to stay at the top of the table. We've got Brooking back from injury. I don't remember seeing the message about how long he could play for today. Or what the physio thought, I should say, on that front. He is 75 minutes. Shankland's fit as well. So, do we put Brooking in from the start or do we have him on the bench? I think we'll start him today, rest him midweek, start him at the weekend. Because if you look at the starting 11, Dehaney's the only one with a heavy match load. Mengi's nearly back as well, which will be a big moment. So that will hopefully make a difference too. We just need to get a second striker back, really. Darren Watson's on his way, but he's not quite there yet. And that leaves Milligan as the only other option. Serrano, big news since the last episode. Nico Serrano has pre-agreed a deal to join Dundee United. As we predicted, as soon as we ticked over after the Monaco game, we were allowed to offer him a deal. And it made a massive, massive difference for us. So he's going to be our highest paid player. He'll be earning, I think, 13 grand a week or 12.75, something along those lines. But he was absolutely excellent so far. He's continued his form. He's got 4 goals in 5 now. And we can't wait to work with him next year. So he's joining permanently. Josh Brooking has extended his loan. He'll be staying with us next season. So all the signs are looking really good. We've just got to get into the Champions League, whether it's first or second, and try and build around the rest of these players. In the short term, though, that's easier said than done because Celtic and Rangers will be chasing us. And we've proved before, we're not the best under pressure. But into the first game of the day we go. It's Dundee United v Hamilton. I know we lost the League Cup final to them, but we had Benji Siegrist in goal then. So I'm hoping it'll be a little bit easier now. Jamie, what do you make of Kadela being banned for 1 game and Kamara could be banned for 5? I mean, it's laughable, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's not even a surprise anymore, the way that UEFA deal with those things, which is probably the saddest, most damning indictment of the way they deal with racism. But I don't even know what to say. It left me flabbergasted. I genuinely hope that's not the outcome, but it would speak volumes if it does. For all the adverts that are on at half time and all the other stuff they put on, really, they're token gestures, aren't they? Charlie, are Luton on holiday now? It looks like it. I mean, the fact that he started Nombe on Saturday, or on Monday, sorry, Easter Monday, getting mixed up with my weekend, sort of suggests that he was just doing it for the laugh, really, to see if he was going to be good enough. He's giving someone a chance to find out whether he's worth signing. And that, for me, says where Luton were. Collins came on, changed the game. Cornick came on, changed the game. But, yeah, I would be a little bit concerned about the form. But what you've got to remember with Luton as well is we were probably overachieving with the injuries we've got. So I know Sonny Bradley came back on at the weekend or on Monday. But prior to that, we'd had our first choice centre-half partnership out for a month. We had a left winger and our backup playing there. And we were still winning games and getting to 50 points. So there's got to be a little bit of perspective. Brooking scored. Oh, what a goal. Josh Brooking into the lineup. And that is stunning. Smash the woodwork. I've said before these are my favourite types of goals. Smashes the crossbar. Bounces down. Back up into the roof of the net. Stunning strike. And we lead Hamilton already. There's a free kick in. Winters equalised. Not going to be as easy as we thought. The clean sheet's gone already. Hamilton are a threat. They always score against us. They always threaten us. And tonight could be a problem as well. Macca in FM, do you ever watch other matches? In my current save, my team played on the Friday night, so I'm currently watching the Manchester Derby on the Saturday. Very rarely do I do it. If there's someone I really want to sign, I think they're great or their attributes look great, but the scout report isn't, then I'll quite often go and watch a couple of the games to see whether I think or I get a feel for it. A bit like I would in real life. You get a gut instinct on watching a player. So I do that sort of thing, but generally just for Luton are playing in the League Cup final, for example. Not that that's happened. Let's say EFL Trophy final, more realistic. I wouldn't just go and watch it. Not in FM. It's not the sort of thing I do. But yeah, I would certainly do it if I'm looking to sign a player. Malin gets the ball into the box. O'Reilly's up. He's at the bar, is he? Bit of a weird animation, but he missed anyway. And it remains 1-1. It's not been the best start so far. Thank you to everybody coming in as well. Lovely to have you all in. Please do chuck a thumbs up if you haven't already. It does make a massive difference. And thank you to everyone, again, that checked out the Twitch streams the last couple of days. It really has meant a lot. To have so many followers after just 2 streams is absolutely brilliant. You can catch up with the full replays over on the Twitch channel if you haven't already. But fingers crossed, it will continue to grow and do well. Charlie, Eddie Howe to Celtic. What players do you think will follow him? I don't know, because most of the big hitters left Bournemouth. It might just be 1 or 2. You know, like where Rangers signed a Defoe and Davis back and people like that. I think maybe 1 or 2 of the more experienced ones. So I'm thinking, looking at Bournemouth without knowing the contract situation, I'm thinking people like a Junior Stanislas, someone like that. Just a little bit of experience, good game mentality. Those sorts of people. Maybe a Steve Cook, because they've definitely got defensive problems. But I don't think there'll be any massive ones. I think it'll be rebuilding a side. But if the problem is he's not going to get the time, I don't think they'll win it first year. And if they don't, he could be in trouble. So he's going to need Europe to save him. He needs to go on a run and do well there. As O'Reilly's down in a box, that's got to be a pen. It has been given and Shankland will take it. He's not been great this second half of the year after a very good start to the season. But he's got a chance to keep scoring penalties. And if he does that, we'd be all right. But he's missed another one. And for an attribute of 15 or 16, he certainly misses a lot. You've got to say that. As Malin puts the corner in, Shankland loses out in the air. And it's always Hamilton. It's always Hamilton where all these things go wrong. We saw it in the League Cup final. And we're seeing it again tonight. They're just plucky. They hang on. They don't dominate games. They don't deserve to win many games. But they get results. They always manage to do it. And here's Winter down the left. It's a good challenge from Malin. Our left-hand side, that is. And it remains 1-1. But they've had 1 shot on target. They've scored the goal. And we're left in a bit of a difficult situation. Maka, Wan-Bissaka and Greenwood still at United in 2029 here. So I just recorded an episode of The Head Coach. I'm in the 28-29 season. And Wan-Bissaka was on the bench in that one. They also had Bruno Fernandes and De Gea on the bench in that one too. Charlie, Tom Ince, didn't work out. It was always a gamble. Thankfully, Luton haven't needed it to survive. But as I said, I don't know whether he ends up in Scotland. I don't know whether he ends up at, certainly not a Celtic or Rangers. I think he's blown that chance with his current mentality. So fingers crossed he can find somewhere, because he's got the talent. Just got to get the attitude right. Jamie, currently training for army test and just watching your streams at night is relaxing. Oh, thank you for the kind words. I'm glad that I'm able to help relax you. I'm glad they're enjoyable. And good luck with all the tests, obviously, because there are hard things to do. Any exams are always difficult. Any tests are difficult. But just do the best you can. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. That's always the best advice. No matter what you're testing for, no matter what you're in an exam for. That's always the best way to approach things. If you put too much pressure on yourself, then it's the sort of thing that leads to disappointment and long-term problems. So don't put too much pressure on yourself, but good luck and I hope all goes well. And I'm glad I can help in the tiniest little way, even if it is just me rambling in front of a screen. So let's pump the fist. Let's tell the boys to prove a point. This is the sort of game that in previous years we would lose. So even if we scrape an ugly 2-1 win, I'll be happy. Serrano tries to get on the end of that. Probably the game we've needed a big player performance, and he's not delivered today, and he's knackered as well, which might affect it. As Martin's into the box, this might be a pen. Brooklyn wins it back. It's away to Serrano. Here he goes on the counter. Come on, son, give me one bit of magic. He's giving it away. Malin recycles it, though, to Mockery. We'll take it from the other side. Not as frequent, but it will do. Mockery back to Mitchell. 3 in the box, and Serrano's one of them. Just over the bar. It's not going to be our day, is it? You can just tell. You can tell already it is not going to be the one for us. But fingers crossed we'll find a way. And hopefully we'll get through it. Thank you for all the support as well. Just a couple of thumbs up from double figures already. If you haven't yet, please do chuck one on it. As we're in the box with Mockery. Oh, it was a great chance. I got so excited by it, I nearly pulled the headphones out of my ear and my ear with it. But still, a brilliant opportunity and almost 2-1 to Dundee United again. We've got a little bit of squeaky chair syndrome here as well, so you'll have to bear with me on that. But fingers crossed, as we get to the hour mark, we can just find it from somewhere, because this is becoming an attacking onslaught. As Brooking gets down the right, we'll get back to the chat in a minute. Let's see if we can find a goal here. As Mitchell picks it up on the left-hand side, up to Mockery. Back to Mallon, to Mitchell, to O'Reilly. He's in! Oh, it's a great save. He's having a game of his life. Is that the former Millwall keeper, Archer? Because he was a brilliant keeper. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was him doing it. As Mallon puts the corner in, he's headed away. Only as far as O'Reilly. Can we get it in a box? We can't. He's forced backwards. To Mallon. Through to Mockery. Goes for the shot. That one was a bit easier for the keeper. We've got to go and look at him. Is it the same Archer? It is. He's a wonderful young keeper. Well, he's not young anymore here because we're 4 years in. But it's an excellent goalkeeper. Great positioning. Great agility. And all those attributes are showing here. With 20 odd minutes to go, we've just got to find a way through. And we're going to have to take off some of the tired legs. Serrano is shattered. It's not his day today. So Charlie's gone back to Jamie. I used to be in the military. Don't blitz the first run when you get there. Otherwise you'll have to keep that time every week. And it ain't easy on 2 hours sleep. There's sound advice from a man who loves that. Jamie, thanks for service, mate. I'm only 16. Need to go to the assessment centre and pass the bleep test. Oh, the bleep test is always, no matter what walk of life you're in, what sport, what level of education you're in, the bleep test is always the most fun part, isn't it? It's something, ironically, looking at me now, I used to be fantastic at, but it's not my forte anymore. Can barely get up the stairs with my breath. Right, let's get Dembele. I mean, Charlie has been part of the group. We've been threatening to bring back 6-a-side in the next few weeks. And it's going to be bordering on walking football, as has been mentioned by a few. Let's get the subs on then. We have gone McCann, Milligan, the youngster, and Dembele on. And we have taken off Serrano, who's knackered, Robertson, who's been poor, and Shankland, who missed the pen. There's a lot of nerves out there. And this is something that keeps happening in the big games. To get up towards the top of the league and then belt it on this occasion would be devastating. We've encouraged the lads. We've got them on the front foot. Hamilton have gone 5-4-1. They just want to hang on. So let's go attack him. We've got 5 minutes left. I'd rather lose than draw, to be honest. I'd rather go for the win and end up losing it. But it's going to be neither. It's petered out to a 1-1 draw. And every time we get excited, Hamilton Academical save the day again. Very, very frustrating. Charlie, did you enjoy pre-season? It's been a long old pre-season, hasn't it? Just, well, for me, nearly 2 years. Yeah, I've enjoyed it a bit too much, let's say that. Oh, did you enjoy it as a player? I mean, I thought you meant now my 2-year one where I've lost all of my fitness. As a player, I never minded it. Because I was one who naturally retained my fitness pretty well. So even when if I put on weight or if I was eating a lot, I'd still be able to run relatively sort of comfortably after a week. Maybe the first week had hurt, but after that I'd be alright. The only pitch to use to get me, and you'll know this from Luton, is in Stopsley. There's a group of pitches in Luton called Lowfair Road, and it's built on concrete. And no matter what level of physical condition I was in, I mean, I'm talking when I was at school in the cross-country team, the lot, whenever I played on that ground, I'd have cramp by the hour mark, just because of the ground it was on. Anywhere else, I was absolutely fine. But yeah, I always enjoyed pre-season because I held fitness okay. And that's something I was quite lucky with. But I think now it'd probably be a different matter. Because I've never really played a succession of competitive football since that leg injury 5 years ago. So I don't think I'd ever enjoy it again now. Because it'd take a long time to build the fitness again. I guess the other benefit players like me and you have is we never were sprinters or anything like that. So we only had to build general jogging fitness. We didn't have to sprint too often. Thank you to everybody coming in as well. Lovely to have so many of you here this evening. If you haven't yet, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Come and get involved down in the chat with the regulars. It's lovely to have so many of you in, even this late in the FM cycle. And particularly as you've had my voice 2 extra days this week on Twitch, to have so many of you still here is absolutely remarkable. So thank you all for getting involved. If you haven't yet, please do go and check out the Twitch channel, even if you just follow it. There's a couple of Ballymena streams on there already, and there will be plenty more to come. We're planning on carrying on every Sunday, and we'll do a few more around it as well. But what about you guys, if you've all been footballers? Have you ever enjoyed the pre-season atmosphere and the pre-season fitness? Sort of depends who your managers and coaches are as well. A lot of my coaches, the focus was on either interval training or on bulwark fitness. You weren't just running around a field for hours and hours, and that makes a difference too. I've never really understood the approach of not showing the ball in the first session. If you don't do that, then that's the thing the players have missed the most. It's not the fitness they've missed the most, it's playing with a football. And a lot more technical skill is lost than physical skill. But that's probably me going into coach work there. Charlie, I remember you sprinting after you scored a volley over at Stockwell Park. I tell you what, that's the second best goal I've ever scored. The best goal I ever scored was again a volley. I was 11 years old, and it was at Sunderland Park, again the other side of Luton. And for the under-12s team, I scored a first-time volley from the halfway line, which was completely unintentional. I was basically attempting to clear it, and it ended up going in over the keeper into the top of the net. So it was a lovely moment, that one. Benjamin, thank you for popping in. Lovely to have another new face in the chat. I'm currently doing a Llandudno save, trying so hard to get professional. It really is. I mean, I think that's the only downside to the Welsh save I had this year, which is the Bangor one, which is they were already pro. Their story was too good not to do a save with them. And obviously it proved to be right because it's done really well. But I wish they'd been semi-pro at the start. That's the only thing, because it makes it so much harder. Even with Cliftonville in FM20, when we were winning a league in Northern Ireland 3-4 years in a row, they didn't turn professional till the final year. It's really hard to get that. You have to be so consistent in Europe. And for us, not using the player or staff search screens, you never build that repertoire of players for long enough. And so many of them, to convince them over, you have to give them a minimum fee release, which due to the reputation of the league is low. It's a horrible little cycle, but keep going at it. You'll get there eventually, and it'll be worth it when you do. You just need to hope, really, you need the other teams in the league to compete as well, because the more that do better in Europe, the better things work out in terms of league coefficient and standard growing quickly. And if the league reputation catches up with sort of the EFL league, so we've just caught League 2 in the Bangor save, and that'll be from the transfer special tomorrow, and you can see the difference it makes to the league. So keep going at it, but Llandudno, a save I've done off camera many years ago, they're a really good club, so keep going at it. Macca, Sterling playing Albion Rovers at home tonight, definition of a must-win game. You've got to love the Scottish lower leagues. So there's a Northern Irish game on iPlayer tonight. I'm not sure which one it is I'll be watching. None of that Champions League lark where we stare at the VAR screen for ages. So it's Ballymena v Glentoran at 7:30 tonight. That'll be the game I'm watching. Should be an absolute cracker as well, because Ballymena fighting for the top 6. The league splits in just a couple of games' time. And Glentoran, they are fighting hard to try and just sneak into the title race, but even more so to get in the European race. Jamie, when I was in school, I played for a team in nets. We trained most days a week. I used to hardly have to move. I used to, so I was goalkeeper for school teams and Luton schools and that, and then I was an outfield player in Sunday League playing centre half. So I sort of had to do the worst of both. The worst thing as a goalkeeper is the pre-match warm-up. You never have to work as hard in the game. But obviously the spotlight's on you a bit more. But it's never the sort of thing that bothered me. I wasn't the sort of person who succumbed to pressure or anything like that. If I made a mistake, it didn't affect the rest of my game. When I was very young, I used to struggle coming for crosses and that. But once I got to about 13 or 14, literally just a switch went. And I went, why am I worried about it? I can jump a foot higher and I can have my fists out, you know. So that was the change for me. But I always loved both. The bits with the reading of the game worked better for me because I never had the physicality, pace and agility wise. KW, another new face in the chat. Thank you for popping in. Do the San Marino challenge. It's my favourite challenge. So the problem at the moment, because we used to do the old school one with the San Marino Calcio, who are in the Italian leagues. But they were taken over a couple of years ago by a new club based in Italy. So the San Marino club side in the Italian league no longer exists. To do it with a team in the Sammarinese league, I'd probably have to be able to release videos daily, which while I've got a full-time job on the side, I'm not able to do. If I ever got to the stage where this was a part-time or full-time job for me, then I'd probably love to do it, even with a team from the San Marino League, because then I could really start to do it daily and put out 300, 350 episodes to get there, which would cover us 30, 35 years, which we'd need. But absolutely, it's my favourite save. I've been asked a couple of times on stream my favourite ever FM save, and it's FM15 San Marino Challenge, without doubt. 2 Ballon d'Or winners, last 16 of the Euros, 24 years in. Might even be later than that, 26 years in. Just absolutely brilliant, loved it. So definitely one for the future on this channel. Benjamin, cheers mate. The banger save is giving me the inspiration. I'm a Landadno boy, so I have a good idea of the banger story. Oh, fantastic. I mean, I have sort of... I used to watch a lot of the Welsh games on S4C, because for most of my childhood we only had like Freeview or Freesat. So I'd watch the Scottish lower league games. I'd watch the games in Gaelic commentary, is it, on BBC Alba. I'd watch the S4C games for the Welsh teams. And they're good leagues. They get a hard time. They're better leagues than they're made out to be. But yeah, that's the only thing I would say with Bangor. It's just a shame from a series point of view that they didn't start semi-pro. So I think that would have been a lot harder. But it's not all been smooth sailing in any season, really. Macca, I was a keeper years ago too. However, the goals grew bigger and I didn't. That was the end of that. So I'm just under 6 foot. I got to 5'11", so I could just about reach the bar. But I was never the biggest jumper. But it was always about reading the game. So that for me was all right. Right, I'm trying to find a lineup for this. And really, it's pushing it. I mean, Brookins scored a screamer, but he's not really fit. Nielsen's going to go on the bench for Kurt, who's picked up a knock, the centre-half. Mengi and Watson, neither of them are really fit yet either. So, do we put Smith on the bench as a striker? I don't know. O'Reilly's tired. He'll be replaced by Holsgrove. Smith can then go on the bench. I've got to try and rest people because we should be beating an Inverness side that are bottom, and we've got Livingston in 4 days, which is a big, tough game. So, Robertson will drop out for Ali McCann. Dehaney will come in at right back. I mean, I should take Serrano off. I really should. But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave both of them there and we'll rest them later if we need to. So, touch wood, we won't have rotated too much. We're playing the bottom side in the league. And let's hope the bottle job doesn't continue. Macaroni grew to 5'7", so 5-a-sides was all I can do. It doesn't matter if you can jump, though. If you can jump, it doesn't matter. What was Bartes? 5'9"? And he became one of the best keepers in the world. So, it's not always the barometer. Let's go and get into this. It's got to be a win. If we don't win this game, we can write it off straight away. Celtic must not have played their games in hand. We'll keep an eye on the other results after, as Mitchell's got a throw on the left. A good start would be appreciated, as McCann finds Mockery. The benefits of the stronger squad should prove themselves in this match. As Mallon gets it into Mockery, back to Mitchell, free in the box, has to find Serrano! Hits the crossbar. Oh, that could have been the chance. We could have done with an early goal from him, as Mallon puts the ball in. Back post, it's Shankland who loses out. And Serrano's now doing the defensive work. Forces McKay backwards. Donaldson just hoofs it. And Tyrick Mitchell gets there comfortably. Really good play out from the back. Hook heads it clear. Summers is there. And he's over halfway to McIntosh. What we don't want to do is let in a goal on the counter-attack, because it will completely change this game. If Inverness can sit on a lead, we'll be in big trouble, as Bannigan plays through the middle. Please don't do this to me. We've finally got in top 2 contention, and then this happens. Awful defending from Dehaney. Keating scores. What? Why did I even suggest we'd be in the title race? I really shouldn't have, should I? KW, there's San Marino Academy, a non-playable team in the Italian leagues on FM, as of course San Marino Calcio doesn't exist anymore. Probably a database somewhere to make the academy playable. That would be a game changer. It's just such a shame the Calcio side are gone, as Holsgrove gets in. Oh, he's missed a sitter. We've already missed 2 good chances, and we've just conceded from the only one. It's such a shame. Well, that's it, as you say, KW. In terms of timing, the San Marino League, the Italian League having a San Marino side makes it possible within sort of 20-25 years, which is realistic for the current channel that I've got. But if we ever went full time, I'd like to do it with a team from the San Marino League. Oh, we're not going to concede again, are we? Oh my word. We're playing the worst team in the league. And we have turned up with this performance. I cannot believe that we are bottling it like this. We've said this how many times with Dundee United? We're only ever one game away from a crisis. Because we are so inadequate and inconsistent that it only takes one moment for all of the confidence to collapse. Shankland has missed about 6 million chances this year. And we're in trouble. There's no point looking at the Inverness formation because it's irrelevant when we're chasing. Let's get the latest scores up. Rangers are winning at Ayr. And we're going to be back to third again, aren't we? If you lose away to the side who are bottom with 17, well, what would have been 14 points from 28 games, you don't deserve to be in the top 2 of the league. Champions League football is going to miss us because we have been woeful. 13 shots, 3 on target. I mean, the quicker Watson's back fit and Shankland can get out the team, the better. He's actually starting to anger me, Shankland. Because I've never seen such a strong finishing striker miss so many chances. And I don't know where it's coming from. I mean, the missed penalty last time has cost us. In this game, we've got to get back on terms at least. There has to be a result. Shankland to Serrano. He's in. Holsgrove. Serrano. He's scored. The new hero is still the hero. And if we don't get into the Champions League, of course, we've got Serrano joining on 15 grand a week. It's going to be very difficult. Benjamin, same with me, Macaroni, 5'9", so that dream was taken from me. Hey, Bartes did it. Holsgrove's getting in. It's 2-2. 2 goals in 5 minutes. The boys are out like a flash. Now we're back in business, and now we've got a chance. Thank you to everybody coming in. Thank you for joining in as always. If you haven't yet, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Just one away from double figures. As we're pushing back against Inverness Caledonian Thistle with a chance to finally get this victory under our belts. And that's all it takes. So we're struggling at the back again here. Mitchell goes long. Shankland can't get there. It's become a game of hoofball from end to end. Mitchell finds Mockery. Back to Mitchell again. Down the line to Mockery. Here he goes down the left. Plenty of space to run into. He's going alone. He can shoot. Didn't really look like going in at any stage, did it? Do you know what we're going to do? Because it's 2-2 now. Shankland's just off the boil completely. He just goes through these spells, doesn't he? 10-15 games where he can't hit a barn door. So, Serrano's going to go up front. We know he's got the quality. He'll be an advance forward. Shankland will be replaced by Dembele, who will be a winger on the right. We're going to put Mockery off for Johnston on the left. Really dropping off ability-wise. And McCann will be replaced by Finlay Robertson. 3 changes made. We're going as attacking as possible. We're going to encourage the boys. We're going to try and get this 3rd goal. We've got to win this game. There's no excuse for dropping points to bottom of the league when you're chasing the top 2. And let's be honest, Rangers are winning at Ayr. And if we don't win as well, it's going to be pointless. 5 minutes to go. We've gone very attacking. We're demanding more. Nothing is happening. But it's a Stevie Mallon free kick into the box. Finlay doesn't even jump for the header. He's going to get back for the second ball though to Tyrick Mitchell. It doesn't matter how scrappy it is. There has to be a winner here. It doesn't matter how it comes. It doesn't matter who scores it. Stevie Mallon 25 yards out. That is a wonderful strike. That's the moment we were waiting for. Stevie Mallon with an absolute rocket. 3-2 Dundee United. Comeback complete. Title race back on. What on earth were we worried about? Thank you for the extra thumbs up. Thank you for the support as always. I hope you're enjoying it. It's certainly been made hard work today. And it's not over yet because Inverness have got the ball with a chance to counter. Long kick over the top. Finlay wins the header. Falls for Mikey Johnston. Beats his man. Surges down the left. Let's put a bit of gloss on it now. Let's make it look comfortable. Let's put a warning out to the other teams. Mitchell gets to the byline. Cuts it back to Mallon. He gives it short to Finlay Robertson. He's got 2 over on the left. Don't give it away. Finds Dehaney. Tries to play it through. It's intercepted. To Holsgrove. Cleared as far as Robertson. To Dehaney. We've got to keep it in their half. It's Holsgrove again. Dehaney to Dembele. 2 in the middle if he can find them. And Harper wins the tackle. But Holsgrove gets there first. It's constant attacks. We just need the 4th goal. The first one's blocked. Dembele to Mallon. 2 goals in 3 minutes for Stevie Mallon. And it's 4-2 to Dundee United. And Macca, you are spot on. Stevie Mallon is a legend. He's getting us into title race contention. And now we go 8 points clear of Rangers again. Exactly what we needed. Macro, remember a great Hibs save I had on FM21. Inverness were always my bogey side. It's so weird, isn't it? You just have those sides that you can't do it against. And even if you're beating everyone else and they're awful, it always happens. But that is just about the most important result of the season. From the position we were in, we've got the lads back on board. We managed to rest a few as well. So I'm hoping that will make a difference when we head to the weekend. Because don't forget, albeit the next game's Livingston, which could go either way, we've then got Rangers. And if the gap's still 8 points going into that game, we can get away with one poor result. I know the league split will mean Rangers and Celtic again. But we've got to go for it. I mean, Shankland might be delighted at the turnaround. But if he could put a little bit towards it himself, it wouldn't go amiss. It's because he signed a new contract. He won't play for about a month now. We just need Watson back for the competition. So let's have a look at the other results. Rangers won, of course, tonight as well. Celtic won on Sunday. So Rangers drew with Hibs on Saturday. That's where the difference is. So the gap's 8 points rather than 6. And if we bottle it, we've only got ourselves to blame. But we played Rangers twice and Celtic once. So it could well fall away just yet. Thank you to everybody coming in. Lovely to have so many of you here this evening. Thank you always for getting involved in the chat. It does make a massive difference. And thank you again to everyone that's gone over and checked out the Twitch channel. Just 2 streams in and we're over halfway to affiliate over there. I didn't even know what that was 3 days ago and I'm nearly there. So thank you so much for the support. It does make a massive difference. But 2 games in, it's not a disaster. So the Hamilton draw wasn't as bad because Rangers were held by Hibs. But realistically, if we lose the Rangers game, we have to beat Livingston and Ayr. And I don't know that we're capable of it, to be brutally honest. Is there an international break before as well? There is after the Rangers game. So we might not get both in if the 2 weeks takes a long while. But we'll certainly take it from Stevie Mallon. Considering we started the season with McCann and Robertson as first choice, Mallon wasn't even the first 11. And he's now become the best midfielder at the club. He really has earned it. And don't forget, because of the injury to Mengi, McCrory's playing at centre-half. If we can get McCrory and Mallon back together in the middle, we'll have a lot to look forward to for the rest of the year. Benjamin, what's your target for the Bangor save? It's a really good question, actually. So, the target isn't just really a Bangor one. In terms of what we wanted to achieve with Bangor, we're not far off probably reaching it. I mean, we've reached the quarterfinals. I'm not going to spoil too much, but a few years ago we reached the quarterfinals in a European competition, albeit the lowest one. I would like to have a go, maybe at some point reaching the final of the Europa Conference. But obviously, if you start to qualify for the Champions League groups and you can't get through them and you finish 4th, you then don't go into Europe after Christmas. So that could become quite hard. The main thing for me is the nation improves. I want another side in the European group stages with us, and I want that sooner rather than later. And because we've built the coefficient to the stage where, so next season, in terms of episodes, for the first time, 2nd and 3rd place, or the next 2 European teams, start in the 2nd qualifying round. The year after, we'll have all 3 in the 2nd qualifier. That has to be the next target. I want the nation to do well, really. I would eventually like to take over the Wales job, because I rejected it 4 years in because we weren't ready for it. But I'd like to take that over at some point. Mark Hughes is doing really well there again at the minute, so we're not looking like getting it soon. But if we could, that would be a big thing for us as well. And I'd like one of my Bangor players, aside from me offering it as a gesture, to become a full Welsh international. I think if we could get Iestyn Weaver on a permanent, he's got the most likely chance because he's an under-21. But I don't think we ever will because of the finances. So they're the main targets. But the fact that we're starting to get good title races for a couple of years is a really good sign. We've got through the awkward stage, I think, now. And it's just about seeing if the likes of TNS and Barrytown can push on. What we'd really like, and I don't know how possible this is in FM the way it goes, is to have 3 or 4 players that can get through, excuse my throat, 3 or 4 players that can, 3 or 4 clubs that can go pro, alongside TNS and Bangor. If we could get that sort of top 4 or 5 regularly in Europe, regularly getting through, And fingers crossed, they can then get a little bit of a professional bounce from the money. Connor Merck, another new face in the chat. Thank you for popping in as always. I'm sure I've seen you in the comments before, in the videos. Nearly done your head coach series, mate. Started the same myself in the Finnish second division. Only problem is my director of football assigned about 12 players. That's a lovely problem to have. He signed 12 players. I can barely get a director of football to sign 2 at the start of the first year. You should count yourself lucky. But yeah, it's a great series. I really love the premise of it. It just adds a lot of realism in areas where players complain it's too easy. So to be able to do that, I think is a great thing. Obviously, it does make it mind-blowingly frustrating at times. But you have to take the rough with the smooth. So Serrano's got a knock. It's a tight thigh, so I don't really want to risk him. But Dembele's injured as well. So who do we play off the right? That's the next question. And don't forget Tyler Wolff is still there, the January signing. He did well the one game he came on. I'm going to start Paul Smith. Serrano will be on the bench. Mengi and Watson still not fit, but they could be back for Rangers. Holsgrove will go on the bench, obviously, after dropping out. We'll switch Brooking back with Dehaney. Who was the other centre-half who dropped out? Oh, it was Kerr, wasn't it? But he's not fit. And then we'll drop Robertson back in for McCann. I think we're then at full strength with the players we've got fit. I guess we should look at this title race another way, shouldn't we? At the moment, we're missing Ted and Mengi, Jason Kerr. McCrory's having to play at centre-half. Serrano's injured. Dembele's now injured. Watson's been injured a month. And we're still up there. I mean, it's an incredible effort, really, and shows the strength in depth we've managed to create. But this is where it can all go wrong. Heavy match load, there's a week off after. But we have to get a result again. We're away against a good side. They're scrapping at the bottom. Fingers crossed they can. Makazov, thank you for popping in as always. Lovely to have you here. Thank you for coming in as always, and I hope your evening's good. Thank you to everyone that's coming in as well. Thank you for all the thumbs up on the video. And thank you for all being so active in the chat. It does make a difference. Connor, you're a Celtic man. I'm a Luton Town fan. Hometown. That's the only reason. Never strayed from it because it was a nice and easy one. And obviously we've had quite the journey, so it's been good fun. This is probably the first dull season we've had in a long time where we've just got nothing to play for. So they're few and far between, but we'll take it this year. We're going to get to a winger on support for Smith. I need to win, and I don't care how scrappy they are. A bit like the Inverness one. If we can nick a 1-0, I'm happy. As Devlin throws in towards Forest, was a bit of a hero for the rivals Dundee in the head coach series. As Crawford picks the ball up again. Mallon's robbed him of possession. He's been so good this second half of the year. Doesn't quite find Smith with a through ball there, but fair play to him for attempting it. The long ball forward, headed clear by Finley. Mallon to Mitchell, to Mockery. Let's get this ball forward again. To Mallon, to O'Reilly. Lovely interchange. Just under hit from O'Reilly. Cinnamon can clear downfield. It's going to fall for Brooking. He's down the line to Smith. A very rare start for him. Did score against Monaco, though, in his last start. Delivers there to Mockery. His header's poor. It's wide at a post. But a really good move. And fingers crossed we can keep the clean sheet. Benjamin's a Derby fan. You've had an exciting couple of years. You're quite the hot topic on the podcast prediction show where we're doing Derby each week. But it was a crucial result, wasn't it? So, you've got to be fair there. Finley's got an injury. We are really struggling for centre-halves. Lewis Nielsen could come on. But that's Finley, Kerr and Mengi. All of the first 3 choice centre-halves out. And the fact that we're keeping a clean sheet based on that is a miracle. But McCrory's playing out again. I'm tempted to risk Finley because we're going to have Mengi back next game. As it goes wide to Brooking again. Gets to the byline. Delivers to Shankland. He's hit it straight at a keeper again. Please, Lawrence, just score a goal. McCrory heads for the clearance. We've had 8 shots and not scored a goal, and we're going to live to regret it. McCrory finds Mallon again. Robertson to Mallon, to O'Reilly. This is the one. Come on, O'Reilly. To Mockery, to Shankland. It's blocked again. Mockery left side of the box. To Shankland again. He's missed from 3 yards this time. Smith challenged in the box. It's cleared away. You can't get away with missing those. You really can't. Stuart Finley's injury is just a bruise, so I don't think it's going to get worse from playing. Fingers crossed we'll get by. Oh, we're back with the unique questions. Tom, favourite song from Oliver. See, if Greeny's here, I know he'd be coming out with a Where Is Love straight away, wouldn't he? Do you know what? I might follow him in that. I can't remember, because you'll remember back when we were 10 years old and doing it at junior school, I played the role of a character that was not allowed to sing, albeit one of the main characters. So I'm going to have to play safe and go Where Is Love. And I know Greeny will like the answer as well. So if he's still here, he'll enjoy that one. Jack, why are you doing that far up the table? Clinging on for dear life is the correct answer. As we've played a final 6 when we get into the split, it's going to be difficult. We've just had a thrilling comeback against Inverness. And now we're struggling to make good work of Livingston, who are right down in the relegation scrap. This is going to be a pen, isn't it? No, into the back post. Robertson heads clear. Chance to counter. Come on, let's nick an ugly 1-0. Let's nick a really scrappy away performance. Mockery left side of the box. 2 in there. O'Reilly's won. There's the goal. Matt O'Reilly scores. This title dream is potentially becoming a reality. Champions League football certainly is. Rangers and Celtic not in action tonight. Ignore Celtic for now. If they win the title, that's fine. Let's watch Rangers like a hawk. 8 points behind with the same games played. We're about to make it 11 with 1 game extra played. And we've got them next up. If we can draw against them, it's a stunning result. As Mallon chips it into McCrory, it's blocked to Shankland. And even Lawrence Shankland has ended his goal drought. A wonderful block. Jack, thank you for coming in. We are definitely getting a nosebleed. I am really struggling to contain my excitement here. The good thing is we shouldn't need to bring Serrano on. Matt Smith can just play the 90 because he's not going to play for a long time after this. I've got to leave Finley and Mitchell on. I've got to. I don't want to tamper with the back 4, although Nielsen would be an option. Stevie Mallon shattered. We've got to give him a rest. We're back to McCann and Robertson, the first choice from the start of the season. Is there anyone else that needs a rest? I just don't know what to do. Any suggestions? I'm going to take O'Reilly off for a rest. He scored a crucial first goal. He'll be replaced by Holsgrove. And we'll save it 5 just in case there's an injury to Finley. I don't want to be left with 10 because he's on a yellow as well. So we might take him off. Holsgrove puts it in. Devlin heads away. Holsgrove gets it again. A third and we will take him off. Back to Mockery. It is 3. Let's give Finley the rest then. Oh, Nielsen will come on for him. And with 15 to go, I think we're actually going to be title contenders. I genuinely am starting to believe it. Thank you to everybody coming in as well. Lovely to have you all here. Tom, consider yourself. I'd do anything. Be back soon. Oh, no, I'm sticking with it. You got to go for a ballad, haven't you, occasionally? Into stoppage time we go. We're definitely going to win this game now. It's just about keeping a clean sheet and potentially putting a bit more gloss on it. Shankland's offside there, but it's headed away. McCann gets it to Smith. To Brookin overlapping. He scored in the first game of the night, and he nearly scores one there. Good save by Jack Hannick. It's behind, and what's going on there? We come back as Livingston are 1-on-1 6 yards out. It's eventually found its way behind for a corner. I'd like to not ruin the clean sheet here, because after being defensively poor against Inverness, we've been good tonight. It's headed away by Mockery. Poplatnik will get there first. He's got a man over on the right. The corner taker's still out there. The cross is blocked and Mockery hoofs it into the stand. I love that. A 3-0 win. And I tell you what, Rangers have got to look out because I think we are on course to steal their Champions League spot. They're now in a position where they face us next weekend and they have to win. We can sit back. We can be a bit more defensive. We can be a bit more cautious. They have to chase it. And that could work out for us on the counter. We're going to tell the boys we're pleased. It's a brilliant performance. And another win. Another step closer. I don't think Greeny's here, Tom, because he would have reacted to Where Is Love. We'll ask him on Saturday when he's back in the morning. He's normally in at the start of the streams. Thank you to everyone for sticking around as well and for all the extra thumbs up. It does make a big difference. Thank you to everyone that's gone over and checked out the Twitch channel too. The first 2 streams went really well and your support is greatly appreciated. And now we've got to look out for what Rangers do. They must be playing tomorrow. It's Saturday afternoon. Stephen Gerrard was there. Who was he watching? Oh, he's Loney Finley Robertson. Finley's just 3 to 4 days. He'll be back next weekend. We've got an 8-day rest now. Rangers are away. Who have they got in the meantime? Tomorrow they face Hamilton away. We now need a Hamilton favour. Celtic play Dunfermline. Almost, I want Celtic to beat Rangers in the Old Firm, just so they then get clear in the title race. I don't mind if we don't win the title this year. Champions League football is a must. I'm not sure. I guess we've never had a reason to look where Scotland's coefficient is at the moment. We've got to start looking at these things, haven't we? It's all very exciting. Tom, give us a rendition. You've got to be joking, haven't you? I've worked very hard to build up a subscriber base of nearly 2,500. I'm not getting rid of them all very quickly. Is it the same name on Twitch, Benjamin? Yeah, it is. Let me get a link in here for you. Make it nice and easy. And there's a couple of live streams in there as well. So if you're bored this evening, there's something to do. There you go. There was also a transfer special from our head coach club. Our first full season at Tottenham to come. There's some good news in there as well. And some very, very bizarre goings on in the transfer market. So if you haven't seen that one yet, go and check it out after the stream. I'm still loving the 2 long-term stories. I know they're not the things that are going to get me the most new subscribers and the most views. But I absolutely love them. And I'll always make that sort of content. But let's have a look at the coefficients then, because this is going to be crucial for next year. So qualification places. This is big news. So Scotland has gone up to 8th since the start of the series, which means if we finish 2nd, we'll be in the League Path playoff. Our 3rd qualifying round, sorry. That's not bad going, you know. So League Path, 3rd qualifying round. That means we're only 2 games away. I don't know if that's the final one or not. I think there's a playoff after that, isn't there? So what that would do is mean we're only 2 games from the Champions League. And if we're guaranteed European group stage football. If we win one, we're guaranteed the Europa League group stages. I mean, there's some real positives there. Is there any chance of it improving for the year after? I'm not sure how it's going. So no, Scotland's basically in a league of its own. The top 7 are miles clear. And the rest of them are miles behind. So Scotland's going to be 8th for some time. I think we've got to accept that. But that's better than I was thinking. I thought we'd be back in the 1st or 2nd qualifiers again. So I'm really pleased with that. So what we've got to do now is make sure we complete the job. We're acting like it's done. We've still got to play Rangers twice. We've still got to play Celtic. We've still got to play Hamilton, the bogey side again. And it's going to be very difficult. But we're getting closer. And we've just got to keep an eye on this Rangers score. If Rangers drop points here, we can afford to lose all 3 of those games and still finish in the top 2. So Hamilton Academical, all eyes are on you. And to be fair, they'll be looking at it and thinking if they win, they're only 6 points behind Rangers then. They could get 3rd. They could get the Europa League. Oh, you lovely, lovely people. Hamilton have won 4-1. They've battered Rangers. They've not just beaten them. They have annihilated them. This dream is starting to become a reality. Celtic are going to win the league. They're winning every game. Ignore that. They'll go 3 points clear of us when they win their games in hand. Because they've got Inverness and Motherwell. They're not going to lose those. Rangers are 11 points behind. We can lose all 3 games against the old firm clubs and we'd still be 2 points clear. And then we've only got 4 other games. We've just got to get results. So that Ayr game at home after Rangers is crucial. I mean, if we draw against Rangers and beat Ayr, it's basically job done. Because we'd be 11 points ahead with 5 games to go. And it would take a monumental collapse on Saturday to stop that. We've got our youth intake here. It's really not very good. We've got 4 players with 3-star potential, which is the best. One of them's got 1-star ability in Blair Christie. Let's have a look at what he's like. Not great. He's 2-footed, which is good. The rest of his attributes, nah, not good. First touch is poor. No composure or anticipation, which are crucial for an advanced forward or poacher. So, no replacement for Shankland via that method. But Hamilton have done us a massive favour. Our draw against them is starting to look a good result. That's not so good. Another defensive injury. All 4 centre-halves are out now. McCrory from midfield is dropping in on his own. Jack, you want Rangers to beat Celtic now? No chance. Absolutely no chance. Because we can't catch Celtic. We're not consistent enough. I'd rather Celtic beat Rangers and get 2nd place out the way. 2nd is massive, massive progress. We've not looked like challenging the old firm in the first 3 years. It's such a hard thing to do. If we can get it, I'll take it now. You can offer me 2nd on goal difference. I'm doing it. Let's get some of these other players' fitness. Glenn Ray might have to fill in at centre-half. He's got 1.5-star ability now. He'll be off in the summer. But he could well have a role to play, in this Champions League chase. I know you might say I'm being unambitious aiming for second here, but I just want to get it wrapped up and get in that Champions League qualifier. Because we can go big in the summer then. Tom, favourite celebrity Lutonian? Oh, my words are flying out the wrong way now. Don't know why. I mean, the safe bet's Monty, isn't it? Just because of that Ashes test. I don't really know many other celebrity Lutonians. Are there many about? I don't think there's many particularly shining lights aside from that. Let me know. Tell me some obvious ones I'm missing. Thank you to everyone joining in as well. Lovely to have you all here this evening and involved in the chat. Thank you for your incredible support as always. As we near something spectacular. We might finally break the old firm. And I tell you what, if you haven't got any plans for Saturday morning, please do make sure you're here, because this is going to be a cracking finish. If we start to bottle it, you might see me disintegrate for the first ever time. But fingers crossed we can stay in charge of it before then. This Rangers game is one of the biggest matches we've ever had in this stream series. If we can nick a point, away at Rangers, as Celtic have gone out of Europe, that will help them now massively. They'll be able to focus on the league, so that will probably get them back in form. And the fact they're still in charge of the title race, despite being in the Europa League last 16, is pretty good going. But if we can get a point against Rangers and keep it 11 points with 6 to go, we've got to be heavy, heavy favourites then. But we've seen at home to Hamilton already this evening. We're not far away from a bottle job. We nearly threw it away at Inverness. How big is that turnaround going to be? How big is that Stevie Mallon last minute brace going to be? Ray Milligan's training well. He's coming into his own now. He's starting to get there. So well done to him. Stephen Dunn's doing well. Ziga, the keeper. We've got to say, I know he was a lot of money. He's probably been one of the best signings so far, because he's finally been a dependable pair of hands there. He's conceded 4 goals in 10 games, kept 7 clean sheets. And he's improving quick as well. He's not rated much better than Siegrist at the moment. He's not rated much better than Xander Clark. But he's performing and he's consistent. And I have waited oh so long to have that in a goalkeeper. If we'd signed Ziga in the summer, we would have won that cup final against Hamilton. But wasn't to be on that day. But this is the big one. I keep trying to talk away from it. It's got to be that. Oh yeah, Tom Nardi from Bake Off. That's a fair one. Stacey Dooley, I'm not a fan. I mean, the documentary's not good, but it's just not my cup of tea. So yeah, Nardi or Monty. But it's got to be Monty, hasn't it? For us as sports fans and as cricket fans, that test, the one with Anderson where they saw out so many balls. I mean, that's legendary status, isn't it? And he even turned up at Wembley for the Johnston Paint final 12 years ago and pretended to care. Jack, how many games after the league split? 5. 5 games after the league split. We just play the rest of the top 6. So a lot of it is actually going to depend on whether we get Rangers or Celtic at home or the other games away. What I'd actually probably quite like is to get Rangers and Celtic away from home and write them games off, and then get the other 3 at home. If we can get Aberdeen and Motherwell at home, or Hibs, whoever it ends up being, that would probably be a better chance of picking up points. Because at that point, we'll only need to beat those 2 or 3. But it all depends on this Rangers game. We've got 4 players on international duty. They better not be first teamers. I mean, Finlay Robertson doesn't matter because he can't play against Rangers anyway. But Lewis Nielsen has gone on international duty before the Rangers game. He might be one of the only fit centre-halves at the club. That's scandalous. At this stage of the season. Oh my words. They're not making it easy for me. This is going to be very difficult. Let's see what we can do with it. Thank you to everyone coming in as well. Hibs have won. They're back in the top 6 hunt. They're above Motherwell, though Motherwell have the game in hand. We've got a reserve game tomorrow. We're not worrying about that for now. Let's get this game sorted. Rangers v Dundee United. And Rangers have to win to get back in this. They have to. The question is, can we find a way to stop them? Serrano fit. Mengi not really. Watson can be on the bench. Jason Kerr's fit. So we have got some centre-halves available. But none of them really quite match fit. So what are we going to do? Robertson can't play in the middle. My natural response would be to push McCrory forward. But that's not going to work either, is it? Because we haven't got the centre-halves that are match fit. Can I throw Mengi back in, half-baked, into this game? I'm gonna. I might regret this because Ali McCann's there. McCrory in midfield. Mengi at the back. Finley's still fit. He's going to play. On the bench will be Jason Kerr. I know he's not quite fit, but he'll have to be. Adriel can't be risked in this game. He can't speak English. He's not got the personality for it. It's not the right moment. Watson's back on the bench for Milligan. I mean, there's nobody else of any quality outside the squad. So I think that's what we have to go for. Paul Smith can drop out for Serrano. That straight swap reoccurs. So the front six is first choice. It's just... In fact, it's our first choice 11, isn't it? It's just that Mengi's not fit. Cross your fingers, everyone. Cross your fingers. We're going to start positive. We'll probably change our mind very quickly. But for now, I think this is our best chance. We've got to find a way. Jack Ranger's likely to have players away on duty too. Well, it looks like based on that, only the under-21s have gone. And if that's the case, I'd imagine Rangers would have more full internationals, if you know what I mean. Should we go and have a look? Let's find a way of getting there. So, schedule, Rangers, who's away? No, we've got nobody away. Every single person's there. This is big. Let's go and get into it. Do we drop to a balanced mentality from the start? We do. We've got a throw on the left with Tyrick Mitchell. Can we get the perfect start? Mockery back to Mallon, who's been a hero so far. To McCrory. Back up into midfield after a few games covering at the back. To Brookin. Oh, it's a poor pass. He's giving it away. Weston, the Wonder Kid's got it up top. To Ryan Jack. To the other midfielder out to the right-hand side. Richie Hosler, the former Dundee hero in the head coach. Gives it back to Aribo, to Ryan Jack, two of the originals. Out to left back, good interception by Serrano. But he's lost out in the second ball. Aribo through, Mengi, oh, he's not fit. Look at it. Oh, it's hit the post from Weston. Mengi starting's a bad idea. He looked a million miles off the pace there. Celtic have got the lead at Livingston. They're definitely going to win the league. But that's a big, big problem for us. 15 minutes gone. We've actually dominated the stats now. Bar that Western shot we've seen, we've had all of the attacks, all of the possession, and we're doing well. But we're not seeing anything on camera bar Rangers highlights as Finley heads the corner away. We're trying to counter, but Colley's there first. They're just quicker. They're stronger. They've got better anticipation. They're reading the game better. It's into Richie Hosler at the back post. He's going to get the chance to cross. Goes back instead. Ryan Jack 40 yards out. All the way back to halfway. But the fact we're seeing this has got to lead to something. Jack back to Diaz. Please nick it high up the pitch. Ryan Jack gets there. It's a great ball. Colley's in. It's going to be 1-0. Oh, he's rounded the keeper and missed. He went round Ziga and then hit the post. Rangers still haven't hit the target all match. That is a massive moment. I just feel like they've got a goal in them. Their two chances have been better, despite not hitting the target. And we've not seen any of ours as Richie Hosler heads in. That's the problem. We have not got the quality to cope with them at the back. And Rangers back in charge. A 1-0 lead for them. Fingers crossed we can find an equaliser from somewhere as Mitchell throws into Mockery. 1-1 would be a wonderful result. Into Shanklin. Down for Serrano. It's offside. Can't have been by much. It must have been close. It looked it. But I think it was just about the right call. We've had the better of the match. But it's Rangers 1, Dundee United 0. And Rangers won't care how much of the match we've had. They'll only care what the full-time score is. Mockery has sort of floundered on the big stage. And Stevie Mallon's got a free kick on the right. In towards Mengi. Oh, it's off, disallowed again for offside. He nearly came back with a bang there. Ted and Mengi, what an effort. And unfortunately, it's not to be. Mockery has had a really poor game here. What can we do substitution-wise? Johnston could come on, or do we go Darren Watson? Let's get an extra attacker on. So, Mockery off for Watson. Serrano switches to the left, which is actually his best position, believe it or not. He'll be a winger on support. Watson will be a winger on support. And we're going all out for an equaliser. Get a second striker on the pitch. Get the third one out on his natural side. And Mitchell throws into O'Reilly. Can we get that goal? 1-1 is the best result in the world here. As Mitchell delivers, Watson's up. The keeper gets there comfortably. McCrory's on a booking in the holding role. Got to be careful of him. O'Reilly's not had a good game. And Weston's got on the end of that. Ted and Mengi's not fit and it's costing us. Great recovery in the end from him. But he's fighting on instinct. He's not got the fitness to cope. Richie Hosler down. Mengi back to the keeper. We're clinging on. We look like conceding a second despite dominating. That's the big problem here. 20 minutes to go. I feel like we've got to go positive. We're going to go for that. We're going to take O'Reilly off for Holsgrove. We're going to take McCrory off. In fact, we're not going to take McCrory off. We're going to take Mengi off. We're going to put McCrory back at centre-half. McCann in on midfield. Let's go for fitness over quality. 15 minutes to go. Just please, if ever we needed an equaliser, it's here. Let's encourage the boys. I don't think it's coming, is it? Holsgrove picks the ball up just inside the Rangers' half. Switch of play is well underbaked and it's cleared downfield. McCrory gets there first. Into Mallon. Mallon through to the right to Watson. Takes on the fullback. Gets past him. There's 3 in the box. It's back to Mallon. It's blocked to Watson again to Holsgrove. 1-1. There's the moment we were waiting for. Darren Watson off the bench crosses. Holsgrove off the bench scores. And our squad is finally helping us now. It's showing. The difference in quality is remarkable. But it's a Rangers throw. And there's still 4 minutes of stoppage time. McCrory clears it off the foot of Weston. It falls for the left back. To King. To Masaba. Crosses to the back post. Richie Hosler's there. Ziga makes a stunning save. Holds it as well. 4 minutes of stoppage time. You can bet your bottom dollar that I am time wasting the backside off of this. Fullbacks on defensive duties immediately. Mallon will stay as a deep line playmaker. In fact, no, he won't. What we're going to do, Mallon will go to the right, Holsgrove the left, McCann in the holding role. He can just be a sort of defensive midfielder on defend. Holsgrove, deep line playmaker on support. Mallon on defence. Watson and Serrano can drop to wide midfield. It's going to be a 4-1-4-1. And we'll just leave Shanklin to run up there. We'll put him as an advanced forward so he can run around more. But that's the most we're going to do. In possession, time waste. Oh, be more disciplined. What else can we do, really? Hold the shape, slow it down. Drop the line of engagement, drop the defensive line. We're not going to worry about their keeper. Do we want to use an offside trap now? I don't think we do. Let's take it off. 3 minutes to go. This could be a memorable moment in Dundee United's history. It could almost wrap up second. And I think we have just about gone and done it. It is a gritty, gutsy defensive display. Rangers won, Dundee United won. And that means with 6 games to go in a Scottish Premiership season, we are 11 points clear of Rangers in 3rd place. Remarkable moment. A brilliant comeback. Wonderful substitutions. And they've made an impact. And now surely, if we can beat Ayr United in the final game of the evening, we've got an awful lot to look forward to. Let's get through the post-match press conference. We're just going to pick the second option. We're too excited to do anything else. But Celtic are going to win the league. Look, if they win their 2 games in hand, they're 5 points clear. It's job done. They're out of Europe now, so they can focus on it. Rangers, though, 6 games to go, 11 points behind. This is massive. Absolutely massive. Thank you to everyone that's coming in. Thank you for all the thumbs up as always. It is greatly appreciated. If you haven't already, please do come and get involved down in the chat. Tom, yeah, Monty is a bit of an idiot though. You're absolutely right. He's got a reputation for it, but fingers crossed. He was good on the Channel 4 coverage for the India test, and he looked a bit more sensible there. So hopefully that's the case. But thank you so much for your support. Thank you to everyone that's checked out the Twitch channel as well. It does make a massive difference, and it is greatly appreciated, of course. Hopefully you're continuing to enjoy this one. I just hope we can cling on. If we can cling on Saturday and get into the Champions League, I mean, next Tuesday is going to be one hell of a transfer special, isn't it? Oh, one game to go. We just need to make sure we get through the internationals with no injuries. The problem with getting a better squad is a lot of them end up on duty, albeit more of them are youth players here. So where the 16 are away, it still includes the likes of Mengi, O'Reilly, Ali McCann, Robertson, Brookin, Mockery, Ziga. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the first team, isn't it? Let's be honest. But we've got nearly 2 weeks to recover, and then we have to beat Ayr at home. We can't back all of this up by then losing the Ayr game. It makes it all pointless. So fingers crossed we can get through and come out on top. We'll wait and see what happens, though. Halfway through the international break, there is no sign of any injuries just yet, which is what we were hoping for. But they've still got a game to go. It can all go wrong just yet. I don't think I've ever been so tense for an end of season part. Jack, Celtic lose against Rangers and you believe. I don't know. I don't know what I want more now. I think with this position we can get away with Rangers beating Celtic. But then I think if we lose to Rangers and Celtic too, that's 9 points gone. Do you know what I mean? So I've got to be careful there. If we beat Ayr United, I'll agree with you. I'll put it at that. If we beat Ayr United the final game of the season, we'll be thinking slightly about the title for Saturday morning. If we don't beat Ayr, it becomes a clinging on job and we take second by the skin of our teeth. Doesn't matter how it's done. What we've got to watch out for, though, it's only one injury from a disaster. If Serrano, if Ross McCrory, if Stevie Mallon or Dario Ziga get an injury, any of those four, we're in big trouble. None so far, thankfully. And plenty of them have played as well. Oh, a bag of nerves here. It's the opposite to the frustration we had with Ballymena on Twitch. It's the complete opposite of it. But we are getting there. We're getting closer. So fingers crossed it won't be far away. Thank you to everyone coming in as well. Back well into double figures, which does make a massive difference. So thank you for being involved. And we are coming towards a tense finale to this evening, which could set up a grandstand finish to the Scottish Premiership season on Saturday morning. And I mean, think of the transfer special next Tuesday if we've got the extra budget as well. Barcelona's Busquets signs a 1-year deal. That can't be as a player still, surely. He's got to be 35, 36. We're 4 years in, don't forget. Let's go and have a quick look. I know I'm getting distracted. Where is he? Sergio. Yeah, he's 35. Oh, he's not too bad physically for the age. No more injuries yet, but lots of players playing in international duty. Jack, that's a deal. Fair enough. Thank you for accepting that one. I think that's spot on. I think we're being fair there as well. We're not overdoing it. So hopefully, we'll be able to get by. I'm just waiting for the injury. Something's got to go wrong, hasn't it? I know I'm not quite as talkative as normal here. I'm not quite as excitable, but I genuinely think this could change the save. I was thinking for a long time this season that we were going to have to leave. Chris Mockery is now officially a wonder kid. I mean, I don't think he's quite that good. But the fact that he's not staying on loan. I mean, I'm sure we'd agreed a deal to keep him. I would do it again now. But I was sure we'd already done that, to be honest. I'm just so annoyed the board sold him under our noses. If they just waited. If they just waited, we would have had him still. The problem is Tyrick Mitchell won't be staying. He's wanted to play in the first team at Palace, which shows how well he's done here. But we'll still keep our eyes peeled for him. Finley Robertson, I'm not sure on yet. They want to play him in the first team as well. So we might be losing a couple of stars too. But Serrano wrapped up on a permanent. Ziga in. There's some big deals that have happened. And the McCrory one's bigger than any, I guess. And this is what it takes at the minute. We just need one more result tonight. And we can start to look at it. In fact, who have Rangers got in the last game? Rangers are at home to Livingston, so that's a banker. I was hoping it might have been another Old Firm or something. If they'd had two and won one and lost one, we could have got very excited there. So 11 suggestions for the reserves. We might as well get some of them in. They need the fitness. So Byrne, Mengi's not a risk. Ray's not a risk of the squad. Zander Clark. We can give Kerr 45 minutes. Johnston could do with a game. Nielsen's not fit yet. Adriel and Milligan. We've got to keep the squad fit because any of them could be needed. We've seen the crisis we've had at the back. We had an unbeaten month, 2 draws and 3 wins. That gets us manager of the month. Neither of the old firm managers there, actually. That's unusual. We're normally third behind them. And we're getting towards the territory where this could become a very special season. Mikey Johnston's happy again. We dropped his squad status and he's now happy. Charlie, Jim Irvin starts for Ballymena tonight. That means they're going to win against Glentoran. Is Gail Bigaramana starting for Glentoran? We're just going through all the podcast interviewees. What about Clucas? He won't be in, will he? Ballymena have the 16-year-old in goal. I mean, Williamson was so unfit. He was struggling with injury at the weekend. I'm surprised Glendinning hasn't been recalled for that. I mean, he must have really annoyed David Jeffrey. But I'm really looking forward to watching that. BBC iPlayer at 7:30. If you want to come and get involved in the Discord, I'll be watching that game and I'll give you updates as we go along. We can have a chat about it too. But we are just a few games away from a very defining moment. We've done the bit we had to do. We sneaked the point at Rangers. But it's all worthless if we lose at home to Ayr United. They're in 8th place. They've been good opposition in the past. Celtic have won their first game in hand. They're already top. So I think we can write off the title soon. But let's have a look at what else is going on. So, Mockery's loan will be extended for next season. That is massive. If we're getting into the Champions League qualifiers, we need players like him in there. I know he had a poor game against Rangers, but generally he's been very good. There's some players getting scouted from a while back. None of them really good enough for our first team or able to join. But there's still a lot of positives. Thank you to everyone who's supporting as always. It is greatly appreciated. We've got 2 days until Ayr United. It is the final one of this evening's episode. Slightly longer stream than normal. But I'm sure you can forgive me for it because this game is massive. And in fact, Celtic just drew at home to Motherwell. Did they play 2 games in 2 days? Because I tell you what, Jack, it might be back on if that's the case. They played 2 days apart and the second one they've struggled. And now they've got another game 2 days later at Aberdeen. Maybe it's not over. If we beat Ayr, I'll start to believe. They're only 3 points clear. The goal difference is almost identical. And that's the thing with the Rangers one as well. We're not just 11 points clear. We've got a 6 advantage on goal difference. Some of those away wins where we've won 3, 4 or 5. They could be crucial at the end of this season. We've got 1 day to go and then it is the moment. If we beat Ayr, Saturday will be about chasing the title. If we don't beat Ayr, it will be about hanging on to second. Bigaramana and Clucas start. Fantastic. All of the players we've interviewed on the podcast channel are starting tonight. Brilliant. 6th of April today, and on this key fixture, fate is taking hold. Oh, it is the 6th of April in game, isn't it? Oh, that could mean one or two things. I mean, I'm not the type of man to believe in fate, but that might change in the next 10 minutes. Here we go. Fitness tests. Kerr, 75 minutes, but fit enough for the bench. Nielsen, not fit. Dembele, not fit. Rangers, Livingston is going to be one to watch as well. I mean, I say if we beat Ayr, it's great. If we draw and Rangers draw, it's just as good. It's about matching Rangers' result. So, Finlay Robertson back in the squad for... Could be any of them. Could be... It's going to be Paul Smith, I think. Is there anyone else there we want in the squad? Probably not in truth. It's just about who's going to start out of these. Mengi is fitter than he was. Not fit, but fitter than he was. I mean, today we could go back to McCrory at the back and then Robertson in midfield. It might be the safer option. But Mengi doesn't look too bad. And he's played on international duty, so he's built his fitness up a bit. No, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. This is the 11. It's the same one that got the result at Rangers. We've got the same subs if we need a game changer. But at home to Ayr United, a must-win game to keep us in the title race and basically wrap up second. Let's go and see if we can do it. The nervy moment's there. The good thing is Stevie Mallon somehow still isn't getting in the Scotland squad. So we've still got him very well rested. And he has been the star man. For all the big signings, he's been the one doing the business. Callum Harriot's in the air side. It's really improved in recent years. Emmitt Hughes is in there. He's a good young player in FM. Aaron Muirhead with the long throw with the great penalty taking rating. And we can officially wrap up European qualification. But that's not what we're thinking of here. We've got to beat Ayr United. Into the first half we go. Please, just let this be a seamless game. That's all I'm asking. Let it be a comfortable, easy day at the office. Will it be? I don't know. 10 minutes gone and there's not been a peep out of either side. Let us know in the comments. Do you think we can do it? Do you think we'll get it, or is it just going to peter out into one of those days? 5 shots, only 1 on target. No sign of a goal so far. And the only thing we've had is a booking as Muirhead takes the throw in. It's a long one to Hughes. Thank you to everyone for the support as always. I hope you're enjoying the episode still. And thank you for the follow over on Twitter for Joe. Much appreciated. Even if you're not watching this one. You'll see it later down the line, I hope. As Shankland nicked it off the defender. He's in behind. Come on, end the goal drought. He ended the goal drought in the last game, but he doesn't look like he's actually confident in front of goal. As it stands though, Rangers are still being held, so it's still a good result. As Serrano finds Brooking into Mockery. Oh, he's extended his loan, but he didn't extend his goal tally there. Corner kick. It's going to be taken right-footed by Stevie Mallon. This is the most on edge I think I've ever been for a stream. As Walsh brings it away, it's a 2-on-2. Whoever that is, please get back and make the challenge. Walsh into the box. Don't give it away. Oh, how is he not given a penalty there? He went flying in. And we get away with it. 5 minutes to the break. It's not looked like a great game. We've had a couple of chances, but nothing special. And it's goalless at Tannadice. Just when we didn't need the goals to dry up. That's exactly what's going to happen. Thank you to everyone that is going over and following on Twitter, though. It does make a massive difference. Fingers crossed we can find, again, I don't care how it comes, the scrappiest 1-0 win. Serrano's had a poor game. Mockery's tired. McCrory's on a booking, but Mitchell's got the ball on the left. Serrano's there. He's hit the bar and the rebound's in. The keeper was in no man's land. It does not matter that it took him 2 bites of the cherry. It does not matter that he was 1 yard out. It is 1-0 to Dundee United. Celtic are winning. Rangers are winning. We have to win, and we are. Jack, Celtic lose, you win. I think you might be pushing it there. Celtic are well on course for the victory. But so are we now, and that's what matters. If all of us win, it's still a good result for us. What I'd love to see now is Livingston nick an equaliser. And we've got to think about subs. I'm going to leave it 5 more minutes. I just don't want McCrory to get sent off from me leaving it too long. Celtic and Rangers still leading. Rangers have doubled their lead. They are going to win now. But Finley's in and he nearly doubles ours. Brilliant save by the keeper. We'll see out this corner and then we'll make the changes. Mockery's knackered. He's got to go. Mallon puts it in. Headed away. Don't counter and score, please. Mockery does really well, actually. Finds Mengi. Coming back from the corner to Brooking and that sees it out. We've deserved the win. We should have scored more than 1. Our expected goals is nearly 3. And we're clinging on again. Mockery off the left, replaced by Johnston. O'Reilly replaced by Holsgrove, who scored the key goal at Rangers off the bench. And I can't risk McCrory on the booking. Finley Robertson on. It's not much of a weakening of the side, the way we are at the minute. And we've got 10 minutes to cling on here. Please let me win this game. 1-0 is absolutely fine by me. Jack, you've taken it back too late. I saw it first. I still saw it. 3 minutes of stoppage time are up though. And it is Dundee United 1, Ayr 0. Ignore the fact we should have scored 3 or 4. We have won. I know Rangers and Celtic have as well. But we are 11 points clear with 5 games to go for the mid-season split. So let's very quickly finish by seeing who we've got where. Which ones are at home, which ones are away. And can we cling on? This could be a brilliant, brilliant season for Dundee United, despite the bottle job in the cup final. We wait patiently. It's going to be nervy, and I'm sure the fixtures won't fall how we want. I'm sure it won't be the perfect outcome. But I'm just hoping. Rangers did win 3-0 in the end. The goal difference is catching us. That's a problem. Celtic won 1-0 away. I think that wraps up the title. We're 16 unbeaten. What an effort that is. We've played Rangers twice and Celtic once in that time as well. We've even played our bogey side Hamilton twice and not lost to them. Let's get through the interview very quickly. And let's head down to the schedule. Who have we got on when? Has it been decided yet? It hasn't. Let's skip ahead very quickly. So, it's been decided now. Let's go and have a look at it. The final action of this episode. Thank you to everyone that stuck with it. Let's see what we've got. It's not far off what we wanted. Hibs and Aberdeen are the two most winnable games. They're at home. It's exactly what we wanted. Celtic and Rangers are away. Might write off the title, but we're going to give it our best shot. Hamilton are away first. The only thing I worry about, the only worry I have here, is because Hamilton away and Celtic away are first. If we do lose those two, will the confidence affect us before Hibs? It's not something to worry about. We've got a 3-week break. Why have we got 3 weeks off? Is it just because of who's in the cup or something? So that might work even better. We're going to send all the stars on holiday for a week. We'll come back and train. We'll play a friendly the 20th. And then we'll be back for the final games of the season on Saturday morning. 5 games to go. 11 points clear of Rangers with a chance to get into the Champions League qualifiers. And 3 points behind Celtic with a miraculous chance of still chasing the title. Thank you so much to everyone that's come in this evening. Thank you for your incredible support as always. It makes a massive difference. There's a link to the Twitch channel a bit further up in the chat. If you haven't yet, please do go and check it out and follow. We've got live streams every Sunday morning over there. And a massive thank you for your incredible support. Thank you for making the chat so active. And thank you for pushing my Dundee United side towards the line. I hope to see you next time on Saturday morning for the final 5 league games of the season. It's going to be a cracker. We're going to be chasing absolute glory. So I hope I'll see you there. Thank you for watching as always. And I'll see you next time.